I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. Yeah, I apologize for the sound of my voice. If you wonder what that clicking was, it got a cough drop in there. For people who requested reviews, I did want to apologize that I'm doing them with this voice. I apologize, that's not what you asked for, but just doing the best that I can. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for people who have sent in requests. And if people do want to send in more requests, topics, movie topics, reactions, reviews, whatever, you can send it either directly to my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. Of course, people are like, fuck do I want to hear from a gravelly voice? It's like, ready to keel over. But still, thank you so much. But this is the second of two requests for Ben. It's for a film called The Salton Sea, which the Salton Sea I had heard of, and it's kind of a little bit of a film noir, but more of a, I don't know what category I would put this in. Is that a little bit of crime, drama, a little bit of a, it's an interesting film. It's directed by DJ Caruso, who would go on to direct Disturbia and Eagle Eye. I believe this was the first film he did. Now stars Val Kilmer, which I'm not a fan of Val Kilmer as a person, based on the stories on various places, whether it be while he's making Island of Dr. Moreau, and I told this story before, but I think I got it wrong. It was in fact, he took like a cigarette, and I said he burned a person's ear. No, he would like singe the hair right by the person's face and sideburns and singe it with a cigarette. Just Val Kilmer being an asshole, and I'm not really a fan of him as a person, but there are other films I've liked him acting wise, including this one. I thought he did do a good job, where he plays this guy who on one hand will play the trumpet to relax, on the other he's got all these tattoos, this crazy haircut, and he deals with meth. In fact, one of the things earlier in the film is telling the whole story of meth throughout the years, including one bit of how a person would set himself on fire accidentally and accidentally blew his trailer up while making the stuff. Okay, let's see where this goes. I thought that was an interesting scene, interesting way to open the film up. And this is a movie that definitely, it's about Val Kilmer, who deals with meth, and he's working with these two crooked cops, played by Anthony LaPaglia and Doug Hutchinson. Doug Hutchinson, he was the asshole guard in The Green Mile. He was in a couple episodes of The X-Files as the character of Toombs. Anthony LaPaglia I've seen in a bunch of stuff. but they're two crooked cops, and Val Kilmer is their snitch. So he'll, from time to time, tell them this, give them information, things of that nature. And what made this film work for me is, number one, I thought the cast did a good job. You also have Vincent D'Onofrio in the film, Adam Goldberg in the film, among others. Just the weird stuff that I did not see coming. Which I guess I'm going to spoil now, so bear with me, spoilers. I do think this is a pretty well done flick about a guy who, there's a little bit more to him than you think there is. There's a reason why Val Kilmer's doing all this. And honestly, a valid reason that all of us would understand. But spoilers, some of the weird stuff, they go on this one deal with this guy, and I believe it's Glenn Plummer. The guy, remember the film Speed, where Keanu Reeves takes the guy's car? Are you insured? Yeah, why? Breaks his door. The owner of that car is Glenn Plummer. He's in this as a guy who's so zonked out. He thinks there's fucking spiders on his arm. He's trying to fucking get them out. Like, that's a weird scene. Or this little kid sells all these weapons. He's got all these gold chains, and the way he sit there with a straight face as a little kid, he's selling all these weapons. Is like, I won't lie, this gun ain't the bomb, but it'll do the job. It's like, wow, kid this young selling these guns, okay. And Vincent D'Onofrio, he's the fucking weirdest. Because he's another guy that Val Kilmer meets to do this deal. Number one, Vincent D'Onofrio plays a character who has lost his nose. So at times he's wearing a fake nose. And the first thing you see is that him and his buddies are doing a recreation of the JFK assassination with pigeons. They put pigeons in a car. Vincent D'Onofrio is talking this kind of weird voice, having no nose, a fake nose, and talking a little bit of a higher voice. Shooter 1, Oswald, blah blah blah, grassy knoll guy. And would you expect that? Would you expect Vincent D'Onofrio, who lost his nose because of not meth, but it was this thing called DAC accident, having a recreation of a JFK assassination with fucking pigeons? But that's what kind of movie this is. There's some stuff that's like, wow, I didn't see that coming, or it made the film interesting, a little bit more unique. Or another thing where Adam Goldberg says he wants to do this job where he wants to steal this stuff and sell it on eBay as Bob Hope's stool. And someone's asked, well, why are you stealing that? For eBay. Sell it on eBay. And how that plays off, I'm not even going to give that away. It just... I thought it was nicely shot. It was a good looking film. Yeah, I thought Val Kilmer actually did a good job. And the movie kept me interested to see what the hell would happen next, where this was going. And then big spoilers for those who have not seen the film starting now. What you come to find out is Val Kilmer, who's this meth guy working with these two corrupt cops, there's this other guy that we've seen who we think is this outside buyer, is this who pretends to be this Asian cowboy. I believe it's BD1 who plays him. I believe BD1 from Jurassic Park and Men of War. He's an FBI guy, and he's been working with Val Kilmer the whole time, because Val is trying to stop these two corrupt cops, Doug Hutchison and Anthony LaPaglia, because we tried to find out that years and years ago he had a wife, and they're at this place. Unbeknownst to them, it was some type of drug lab, meth lab, and these corrupt cops, they went in with ski masks to kill everybody, and they didn't want to leave witnesses, so they killed Val Kilmer's wife. So Val Kilmer found out who this was and decides to set up this operation himself to bring these two corrupt cops down. And that's what I meant by before, where you find out there is a valid, for most people, a valid reason as to why he's doing this. But then I guess he realized the FBI isn't going to do the full commitment that he wants, so he takes matters into his own hands. You get a firefight at the end. So there's some nice song choices. For example, Moby. Oh, God. I'm trying to remember that. What was the name of the song? Damn it. Moby has this song that I've heard quite a few times. It was in an X-Files episode when Mulder finally finds out what happened to his sister. It was at the end of Any Given Sunday when they win the game. It's not a bad soundtrack this film has, and this film came out 2002. It's a pretty good rating on IMDb. I can understand why. Neo-noir crime thriller. Yeah, I guess I can agree with that category. Was a bid bomb. $18 million budget, only made $1 million. Just by this point, honestly, no one gave a shit about Val Kilmer. Just no one really gave much of a fuck about him, to be perfectly honest. Just to go back real quick on the cast, I mentioned Val Kilmer, Vincent D'Onofrio, Luis Guzman's in the film, Anthony LaPaglia, one of the two crooked cops. Some of the stuff he's been in is stuff like he was in The Client. He was in So I Married an Axe Murderer as Mike Myers' brother, who was a cop. Not sure if people recognize these movies. Like, he was in Summer of Sam. He was in Empire Records. It's one of the big films he was in. One Good Cop with Michael Keaton. Val Kilmer's buddy is Peter Sarsgaard. Which Peter Sarsgaard, he's been in quite a few stuff. He was recently the main villain in that film, The Magnificent Seven remake, which I reviewed. Which I actually liked that film. He was also in Green Lantern. He was in Jarhead. I think he was the main bad guy in Flight Plan with Jodie Foster. Been a few other stuff. Yeah, he did a good job as the Val Kilmer's buddy. Deborah Unger, who is this lady who has a kid and she's a bit of a drug addict. She was in Silent Hill, White Noise, Payback with Mel Gibson, BD1. Arlie Ermey has a role in this. As we later find out, the father of Val Kilmer's wife who died. Cool to see Arlie, even though it was a bit part, cool to see Arlie Ermey in there. May rest in peace. Danny Trejo has a bit part here as a guy who works with Vincent D'Onofrio. Oh, it's not showing the damn. It's not showing the damn soundtrack, of course, because it don't bother the fuck out of me. I don't know why. I could just stop the video and people not gonna give a fuck, but I'm just one of those guys that just hones into that stupid shit. Let me see. My Weakness. That's what it was. My Weakness. I also like the song at the end credits. It's called Morning by the band Tantric. I thought that was a pretty good song to end the movie up. That's something like by the end of the film, I was really satisfied with the movie. There's really nothing much I would complain about. It didn't end on a stupid note or a lame note. I thought you got the comeuppance that was deserved by these people. Again, I might not like him as a person, but I thought Val Kilmer did a good job acting-wise in this. I like the dialogue at the end. Just he was these two people. He was the guy who lost his wife, and he was this meth guy. And now it's like, well, who's this guy now? I don't know, but I liked his chances. I really, really liked his chances. So, a bit of an upbeat ending in a way. And it was just a movie that was told in interesting fashion with some nice, weird, quirky surprises, with a capable cast, and it moved at a good pace. It was well shot. You can tell this director would go on to do stuff. I mean, again, I liked Disturbia. I really, really liked Eagle Eye. So it's nice that he would go on to direct those. And this is a movie that, again, I think if you like what they call crime thrillers, if you like those type of movies, I think this is well worth a look. If you like Val Kilmer, this is well worth a look. If you like movies that are different and off the beaten path, this is worth a look. Yeah, I quite enjoyed the Salton Sea. I don't know what else to say other than sorry for my bumbling and fumbling around. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.